This is MMA fighter Mikhail Pitbull Turchinov, a Russian Nazi who has not only fought in the octagon, but also against Ukraine. In a bout against this man, Alibeg Rasulov, karma would catch up to Turkenov, now 38, whose body is emblazoned with swastikas on his chest and right shoulder, along with a rune symbol which represents Aryan heritage. This has become a huge, and I mean huge, problem in the world of mixed martial arts. After all, the promotion, named AMC Fight Nights, rebranded from Fight Nights Global per Indy100.com, platformed the man. Thankfully, Rasulov took out Turkenov in less than 3 minutes in, get this, the very first round of their fight. Since then,
мы отличаемся от контрактников, от мобиков тем, что мы знаем, с кем мы стоим плечом к плечу, с кем мы находимся в окопах. Допустим, я гоняю за питерский «Зенит», также представители есть других клубов, «Торпедо», «Крылья Советов», «Спартак».
With his MMA career flailing to an 8-7 record, according to Tapology, he is fighting for Vladimir Putin.
Уже знакомый персонаж, потому что когда я его вручал, нет,
1 февраля.
1 февраля вручал первый орден. Что тогда беспилотник какой-то крутой сбил, по-моему, да?
Командира полка вытащил.
Ну, кроме того, да.
Служу России.
And he has been seen with Deputy Chief of the GRU, Lieutenant General Vladimir Alexeyev. Via Jamestown, Turkenov has a large online presence, was wounded twice in combat, and has received some of the Russian military's highest awards. He has also helped propel Espanola into the Russian mainstream by appearing on cable television and being profiled in the media. Lucas Weber and Peter Smith would write, taking on a role on the front lines of the propaganda war with figures like Turkenov at the center, Espanola presents a patriotic message from soccer fanatics who have set aside previous differences in exchange for a new nationalist unity. As stated previously, the infusion of Nazis in MMA is a humongous problem that is not going away.
If anyone wants to know, this is what we're about. It's Rise Above movement.
Robert Rundo is a really significant force in the far-right space, and I would venture to say that he is one of the most dangerous white supremacists currently active in the mixed martial arts space.
When Robert Rundo looked at Denis Nikitin, he saw an example, someone he can copy and someone he could become, a small version of for the US market.
Rundo co-founded the Rise Above movement, basically a US version of White Rex. Billing itself as the premier MMA club of the alt-right, the group claimed to have more than 50 members and forged links with far-right groups in Europe. Things were going pretty well for the group. That's until Rundo and other Rise Above movement members were charged after attacking counter-demonstrators at MAGA rallies across the US. These events underlined the danger of the far-right MMA scene. Groups who are training specifically for political violence.
So basically, for many of the neo-Nazis who are practicing MMA, almost a natural next step is, being prepared yourself, so keeping your body and keeping your fighting skills up to date. But that's obviously isn't enough. And the logical next step is acquiring weapons. That starts with knives, and it's only a matter of time when the next neo-Nazi MMA fighter will take up firearms and commit a terrorist attack.
In British Columbia, a CBC investigation found prominent white supremacist groups gathered at the Scottish Cultural Centre in Vancouver for a secretive Nazi conference. Gym owners, trainers, and coaches were in attendance. The Guardian reported already proliferating across the United States and a number of states, active clubs openly take their historical cues from the Third Reich's obsession with machismo and their modern inspiration from European soccer hooliganism. They cite research by the GPAHE showing clubs rising all around the world, including Sweden, Australia, Canada, Finland, and of course, the United Kingdom and Latin America. The New York Times reported neo-Nazi groups in Germany and across Europe have worked to co-opt martial arts as a training and recruiting tool, hosting high-profile combat sports festivals and offering local opportunities to practice the sport to try to broaden the group's appeal, experts would say. It is part of a larger strategy to make the face of extremism more mainstream. And unfortunately, it has worked. Sports Politica's Kareem Zidane, who does great work, told Vice in 2021, there is a significant amount of far-right influence in neo-Nazi organizations and fascist fight clubs that are taking advantage and weaponizing the sport, and we see this on an international scale. Vice would write of White Rex, which was founded in 2008 by Denis Kapustin, pseudonym Denis Nikitin. White Rex has been organizing white-only MMA tournaments since 2011. Starting out in Russia, Nikitin soon began holding these elsewhere in Europe, building networks with extremists across the continent and cementing his status as a key figure in the militant radical right, they print. Kapustin, like other Nazis in MMA, has ambitions of recruiting and brainwashing folks to join his movement. It's neo-Nazi propaganda done by people with some skills in design and marketing, said far-right researcher Pavel Klemenko, who serves as the head of policy for global monitoring and human rights at the FAIR Network. They combat discrimination in the beautiful game as well. They believe that they need to defend some things. Some of them define it as Christianity. Some of them define it as white European heritage. All of this just feels too familiar in the United States right now. Even the BBC printed this year, Active Club, or AC, which hails World War II Nazi leader Adolf Hitler as a hero, claims to be, quote, peaceful and legal, and focus on male friendship and fitness. However, it is connected to the Rise Above movement, or RAM, which played a key role in the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017, where Heather Heyer lost her life. As we have seen, this movement is not slowing down. And considering what we saw from a man, whether you think he is a Nazi or not, the current president of the United States of America, who has courted Nazis, has invited Nick Fuentes to have dinner with him, has shown allegiance to someone like Kanye West, who says that he loves Hitler. Steve Bannon has done a Nazi salute. Elon Musk has done a Nazi salute. Another speaker at CPAC has done a Nazi salute. Many are equating Stephen Miller and the speeches he has given to the Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels back in the day, and the courting of Dana White and the UFC to Donald Trump. Yeah, there's overlap. And there is a serious Nazi white supremacist problem in this sport. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.